A man really wants to protect what's his. He has to do it for himself.
In a world pulverized by political correctness, steeped in soy, and bursting at the butthole with broads demanding 5 Gs because a blind dude brushed his khakis against their crotch in a crowded subway at 7 a.m., in an age where the action genre is an estrogen-infused fallopian firing squad where an anorexic underwear model with an accent thicker than a resume brings grown-ass men to their motherfucking knees armed with nothing but a trench coat, a corset, and a cunt, the aim of the 6th Death Wish film was simple: to tap that testosterone vein deep in the long-dormant dong deposit of all mandom, drill it to its cinematic essence, and then irreparably fuck it up. We open with an ominous overview of a skyline suspiciously similar to Gotham City because fuck art design, I'm Chris Nolan, where a black cop was shot by a black offender, and therefore it's a white dude's fault.
We gotta talk about what's happening in Chicago.
You wanna know what the problem is? The problem is they don't care about us. The problem is we don't got enough education.
762 murders, more than 3,500 shootings.
Topic going because something has to give in Chicago.
Oh, welcome to a world where the media won't stop talking about the murder problem in Chicago, Illinois. If you see Samwise saddling up for Mount Doom, it's because we've officially entered a fucking fantasy film. And speaking of fantasy films, it's time to once more witness Bruce Willis's gradual cinematic metamorphosis from Bruno to bipedal hairless mole rat.
Time of death, 12:24 a.m.
Now do that for the Die Hard series. Lieutenant Dindu does the dirt nap shuffle off this mortal coil, and so mopping up the murder sauce, he breaks the bad news to his butt buddy, after which we witness the rebirth of a bygone art form.
Oh my God.
The 80s action movie title screen!
We did everything we could. His heart stopped. He has lost too much blood.
The arm was badly injured.
Shooters into the...
What? Now you're gonna go save the animal that shot him?
If I can.
It ain't out for justice. Fuck, it ain't even Death Wish 5. But in 2018, I'll take it intravenously. From there, we cut to an idyllic suburb so bleach white it doubles as a porn star's asshole. Birds singing, Beach Boys blaring, daughters mercifully unraped and impaled on a fucking fence post. Whereupon we encounter the most fanciful fantasy element yet: a fully intact American family unit.
They said 9.
She's going to get in.
Oh, hey guys, what's up?
Hey, I thought I heard a noise upstairs. Did you hear anything?
It sounded like your impending death.
I got in.
Our girl is going to college.
Over your violated corpse. But before she can get a side shave and a doctorate in snatch studies, she plays some soccer, during which we're made well aware of an acute Bronson shortage.
That's a bullshit pass, Brianna. You know that. That's another foul. Jesus Christ.
Take it easy, pal. You're gonna give yourself a heart attack.
I would just shut the fuck up if I were you.
All right.
Pussy.
If that were Bronson, fuck, if Bronson were the goddamn Danish boy on this film, that fuck could be on his 5th wildy lobotomy by now. After a quick slice of cheese casserole, Chicago-style pizza, he saunters outside the restaurant to discover that they're not sending their best.
MJ. Bulls fan?
It's my name, Miguel Javier.
I take it back. He's just your friendly neighborhood McDonald's commercial minority, parking cars between shifts of the soup kitchen while helping war orphans with... Oh. Now, let's not jump the border. Conclusions! Conclusions. After all, he could be taking selfies of faux Kersey's address for any number of reasons. Mailing him a fruitcake, tape trading Vicente Fernandez albums. Fuck, maybe he wants to pitch in on your Tres Leches cake. I mean, what's the worst that could happen in an open-air ode to draconian gun control like Chicago? A gaggle of Slipknot rejects break in your back window and give you a 38 special surprise.
Put the fucking phone down right now.
But Goldblum, this goof, is not, and so Leatherface carts Frumpy McFlannel off to fumble with the fucking safe, while the daughter gets tied up with fishing twine so she can play Dodge the Dick with Dan Schneider. But before he can set her down on the couch for an upside-down iCarly audition, she snatches his switchblade and gives the shitbag the Pelosi special.
God damn it! She cut my fucking face! face! So she can see your fucking face!
Anyone else noticing that between alarm company commercials and action films, burglars and media are not only suspiciously white, they're slowly undergoing a gradual Michael Jackson metamorphosis from the NWA to ABBA? At this rate, in Death Wish 9, Kersey's daughter will get an airtight from Eminem, Edgar Winter, and Uncle Fester.
Tonight, we review an aging Charles Bronson in Death Wish 9. I wish I was dead.
Not to worry, though. I'm sure in mere moments those draconian gun control measures will kick in and diffuse this entire ugly ordeal.
That's all, folks.
Trauma. 2 incoming level 1. Female, 17, basal skull fracture.
Is it that Bronson fuck again? Unswayed by his predecessor's handiwork, he somberly departs to assist in the surgery when a wild plot device appears.
Doc, hold up, man. Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Where are they? Oh.
Well, sure, it's bad news, but we didn't actually hear. I mean, it could be literally anything. Oh. But who could it be? There's a 50-50 chance it's the love of his life, or the daughter he makes suspiciously pedophilic bedroom eyes at. Wheel of Mortality. Turn. Fuck it, it's Death Wish. We know exactly who it is. Another Death Wish, another deceased spouse. Fuck high-capacity magazines and bub stocks. You want to cut down on the domestic murder rate? Outlaw Paul Kersey's dick.
Were there any firearms in the house?
Could they have possibly leaped to life and committed this murder themselves?
No.
Attaboy, B-dub. The cops give Cue Ball and the Kingpin the "it's not you, it's us" speech, after which Willis whiles away the wee morning hours pining after his preteen daughter, but before he can go all Hulk Hogan in the head trauma ward, he must first plant his paramour.
Now here I am. And I'm seeing something I was never meant to see. How is this part of his plan?
It turns out Grampy's a goddamn Terminator, not to mention the only character in this film with a T count above .5. He's a bit like Jane Chill from the first film, minus every solitary badass thing about him. While his daughter clings to life, Cue Ball creeps her best friend the fuck out instead, but when he decides to check in on the investigation, he comes face to forehead with the untrammeled efficiency of Chicago bureaucracy.
So there's nothing that I can do? Is that what you're saying?
You can have faith.
You believe in Jesus.
But enough of Detective Do-Nuffin, bring on the Dindoos.
Got you. Boy, fine ass. Look at the thick ass thigh. Can I come?
Hey. What the fuck you say, puto? Hey!
That cultural enrichment goes down smooth. Back at the Bald Cave, as he staunches his swelling with the only ice that's allowed to operate in this fucking city, his television punctures a hole in an alternate universe long enough to see a gun store advertisement in Chicago. In 2018!
At this time of year, at this time of day, in this part of the country, localized entirely within your kitchen.
Come on down to Jolly Rogers. We've got some badass deals on our F1 firearms.
Yes.
I'll take businesses Rahm Emanuel would have had burned to the ground half a goddamn decade ago for $500, Alex.
First gun?
Yeah.
I'm Bethany.
Hi.
Come on back.
We can fill out the first 500 background checks together. She walks him through their fictitious fucking inventory, but before he buys a boomstick, he notices the shop has more surveillance than a London porta-john and has second, third, and fourth fucking thoughts.
I'm gonna think about it.
Great, just ask for Bethany.
I'll just be down here in full hair and makeup to sell high points to balding middle-aged sexually frustrated fucks. But before he can ask God for a gat, he heads to work and receives a gift from the Glock Fairy. No, not that Glock Fairy. From there, we get a good old-fashioned gearing the fuck up montage replete with AC/DC's boomerific Back in Black, because fuck you, it's 2018, and what would a movie, trailer, car commercial, political speech, poetry slam, or weenie roast be without the 1000th playthrough of this impossibly ubiquitous butt-fucking song? And so he prowls the streets in search of a sufficiently sized shitbag deposit. And as anyone who's been to downtown Chi-Town will attest, it ain't gonna take long.
Whoa, 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 come on, man, come on, man. Hey! Hey!
He does his best Ric Flair impression. He presents, he takes aim, but Bronson, he is most certainly fucking not. He drops the driver, who has the unerring aim to apparently bullseye him in the fucking hand, but not enough to avoid going face first into a fire hydrant, and then we get an unexpected visit from an old friend. Bitchin' ass 80s synthesizer. And it was at that moment that Dr. Kersey discovered the many medicinal properties of death.
Death.
But because it's the post-millennial era and every asshat with an iPhone has to fucking photo document the consistency of squirrel turds, he's on the front page of 4chan before you can type show fucking feet.
Natasha, listen, no posting on social media and all that stuff you guys do.
I uploaded that shit hours ago.
Terrific.
Yeah, sure, sweetie, I get demonetized for making a mild dick joke, but you're gonna upload a double homicide and be front page featured on fucking YouTube and racking up more hits than Snoop's Skullbong. This script is reaching levels of oblivious boomerdom that shouldn't be physically possible. And speaking of boomers, B-Money makes with his actual fucking job for once and picks up a murder tip from the world's littlest BLM activist.
You got caught in some crossfire?
Crossfire! You get caught up in love!
The ice cream man, done it.
The ice cream man.
Yeah, kid, get faggier than Ant-Man.
He said next time it ain't gonna be my leg.
Tyler, you are gonna be all right. I promise. You're the ice cream man? Who the fuck are you? Your last customer.
At least Bronson is here in spirit. Apart from the whole therapy thing, that is. So wait, Bronson witnesses his wife raped and murdered, his daughter raped into catatonia, revived, raped again, and fucking impaled, his girlfriend erupted a hellfire before his very fucking eyes, his adopted daughter OD on crack, and her mom mowed down by machine gun fire, his second wife turned into fucking Jigsaw and dropped off a butt-fucking balcony, but a garden variety burglary sends him sobbing to Dr. Phil. On the plus side, it does give us an excuse for possibly the finest fucking interchange in this film.
Getting out, socializing?
Not so much.
Well, whatever you're doing, keep it up.
Okay, I will.
But when he gets a hot tip from a cold corpse about who done ganked his shit, he takes the subtlest route possible. Walking in the front fucking door in a sketchy ass hoodie and asking for his shit back by name.
Your crew that stole the shit out of my house. You killed my wife.
What, are you gonna talk? Are you gonna tell me where my
shit is? It's here.
Careful, Willis. I'm pretty sure that's how OJ got arrested. But when Fish finally flops on by, it's time for Kersey to fry some fuckbags. He lets loose the lead, but unfortunately for Brucey Baby, also becomes intimately acquainted with the joys of polymer weaponry. Fortunately for not Bronson, he forgot the 15th rule of Rageaholic cinema. When all else fails, fucking metal!
Oh, that's brutal.
Unfortunately for the fuckbag, not Bronson, and for that matter, the audience, they both studied marksmanship at the Stormtrooper Academy. Neon signs don't fuck with Bruce Willis. But this is Chicago, this is a sports bar, and as per the Kaepernick commandments, it's time to take a knee.
It's Joe.
Rogan, I knew it! All those agreeable middle-of-the-road opinions. I bet he was whispering into the mic about moon conspiracies, even as he was murdering hooks. One testicular field goal later, Willis does the old man flop. Supine and sucking for air, it appears Fish is about to bone a bitch. But if he thought that bowling ball had stayed put on the shelf while he murders a protagonist in finely polished plot armor, he failed to reckon with the fifth theorem of Home Alone causality. Fuck. Willis wipes the security cam while making sure to leave his 24-karat plot device behind for the popos. With the cops closing in, Kersey's only recourse to avoid surveillance is the Clinton method. He rolls up on Jumpin' Joe, who turns out to be the teeny bopper boinker from the opening scene, and relates to him in civil terms precisely how he feels about the DNC's recent push for pedophiles' rights.
The fuck? What I want to know is who else was there.
Who else was there?
No one, man.
You know, Willis, I don't want to tell you how to do your vigilante gig, especially when you're 6 diehards deep, but maybe you could, I don't know, maybe look for the only 3 white dudes on the South Side. He jams a CGI scalpel in his hamstring and plays Batman for a beat, but we all know how this mess is gonna goddamn end. Mind your umbrella, bitches. It's hailing one-liners.
Thanks for your help.
So you're not gonna kill me?
No. Jack is.
Uh-oh.
SpaghettiOs!
With the cops closing in on his brother-in-law, the kingpin of cringe, Kersey takes the bait on a bullshit text message and tries to corner his quarry in a crowded dance club because fuck you, we paid for this song. He follows him into the little girl's room, gat at the ready, his adversary in sight. But let's be real, if this were any more of a trap, conservatives would pretend to find it entertaining. After narrowly avoiding the turd trap and escaping as inconspicuously as the only old man in a hoodie in a crowd full of millennial nightclub coke fiends fucking can, he returns to the hospital where his bouncing baby bullet sponge is finally cognizant. After a kick-out worthy of Cena and twice as fucking believable, she's ready to roll on home when they pile into the elevator and inadvertently step into a steaming pile of shitbag.
What happened to you?
Oh, I was in an accident.
Oh, I'm sorry. You going home?
Yeah.
What does he have to hang a sign? He's fucking your goddamn daughter in a 5-inch remove! This fuck couldn't more flagrantly advertise his evil if he was suffocating a litter of puppies in his pleather poser jacket. Present your piece and give him a .45 caliber facial!
Dad, who was that?
I don't have a clue, honey.
Foreshadowing like a Sherman tank. A scant scene later, the daughter's miraculously out of the wheelchair and settled in to enjoy a meal on her murdered mother's bloodstain. But when Willis starts seeing shadow people, he locks his daughter under the stairs to call Art Bell and invites Blandy Couture in for a shower with a side of shrapnel. His butt buddy is drawn by the sound of a single gunshot because evidently the sound of emptying a full clip into the fucking bedspread wasn't sufficient cause for alarm. He wanders upon a curious scene, and with that, it's time to play the game show sensation sweeping the nation. Is Kersey A, in the shower, B, in the closet, C, fuck it, he's under the bed! Kersey kills him so hard, he turns into an obvious latex mannequin. And with that, the dick cheese stands alone. He combs the house for the kahuna, but he's nowhere on the above floors. Perhaps a powwow in his basement murder fort will clear the fuck, he's right behind him!
Sit down.
With his daughter's gunshot sense tingling, the homicidal hipster beard sets about mocking the action icon. But just as he prepares to immolate McClane, it's clear he's unfamiliar with the concept of functional fucking furniture design. Shitbag murdered. Kersey's previously established culpability in the killings magically explained away somehow. Yup, it's fucking Death Wish, all right. Or rather, it's almost Death Wish. I mean, we've had the deader than dog shit wife, the subsequent rash of retaliatory shootings, the pacifist protagonist turned bipedal murder fortress, but there's something off here. If only I could put my finger on it.
Hey!
Cut! Print! God bless America! Look, I could list 50 flaws in this fucking movie, but the first 49 are no Charles Bronson. If you can get over that, fuck, even if you can't, Death Wish 2018 is 10 times the film it fucking deserves to be. And in the Death Wish hierarchy, I'd put it just below the insultingly underrated second film. While imperfect in some ways, in all the ones that matter, it did right by the storied series in question. Better still, in an age of politically correct pablum, it made every leftist skull in a 5-block radius erupt in a shower of blood and brain matter. If you've pored over Netflix in search of a cure for simpering-ass modern cinema, Death Wish is the cure for the common cunt. I'm Razor Fist. God fucking speed.